saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I think this is an interesting statement. Did some research on it, and of course, there is no historical reference to it in the Vedas. There is no historical reference to it in any of the Upanishads or any of the Buddhist or Zen teachings. There is no reference to it. Somebody said it at one time, somewhere. And it so resonated within our spiritual community, the metaphysical community, or the New Age community, that it has become a sing-song for us. And I wanted to kind of talk about that today and what that really means. Because I think it's important, and I think it's important especially to this group. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Many of us are in a place in our mind and in our head where we are awakened, enlightened beings. This is the way that we see ourselves. In a way, it puts us in a position of pride. And unfortunately, what happens is that when we are living in a position of pride, we are not in a position of allowing. And so the shift from pride to allowing is the readiness of the student. The ability to look inside ourselves and see that there is something that we not can contribute, but something that we can learn. Something that we can benefit from. That there's some lack of knowing that possibly may be filled by someone else's energy, someone else's knowledge, someone else's experience. And certainly, if spirit is working through that person, we want to be, instead of in a place of pride, in a place of allowing. So my question today is more about how do we make ourselves ready? How do we get to the place of allowing? How do we let go of our pride and acknowledge the teacher? And who is that teacher? How do we find the teacher of our heart? The master of our heart. The one who, when we hear his voice, it's like falling in love. It's like honey or sugar in our mind and in our mouth. First, we have to examine our life and our relationship to the world. How things are going. And I used to make a joke about this a lot, but it's become a lot more serious as time has gone on in my spiritual journey, to say, how is that working for you? It used to be an offhanded kind of joke to me. Oh, how's that working for you? Well, it's not funny. How is that working for you? If in fact you have identified for yourself on some level a teacher, and you believe that you're in a place of allowing, how is that working for you? If it's not working for you, then those two things are not true. You're either not allowing, or this is not your teacher. So the examination itself is to say, am I at peace? Am I present in the now? Am I in the world and not part of the world? Or have I allowed chasing after the things that I already know as an awakened being keep me busy? Am I glued to the TV set? Am I glued to the radio telling me what's happening in another country because I need to keep track of what Donald Trump said? Or am I chasing after money? Or escapism? Am I partying too much? Am I losing track of those things? Or am I lost in my own head? Have I isolated myself? Have I moved myself into a place where I don't want to interact with individuals? These are behaviors that show you're not in a place of readiness. This is not readiness. Readiness is in a place where you surrender. say, I don't know. I don't know. And I want to know. So when you're in that place of readiness, I don't know. And I want to know. What happens? You identify those that know. And someone will resonate with you. Someone will have the words that are in your heart to unlock knowledge that is just there. I knew this all along. How did I forget? How did I let my mind wander away from this valuable truth that lies within me? What else did I forget? What else do I need to know now to live authentically? To fall in love again with my life, with my journey, with myself. And to be in that place where everything is just okay. So you watch the world and you kind of smile. Yep. I can't be there on Sunday. I have tons of overtime. I've got to store up my nuts like a squirrel. For what?
I need to get my nails done.
I'm sorry. But you know what? She's been telling me that for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
That she has not been getting her nails done. But we allow all those distractions. So if you're ready, if you have identified that you don't know and you want to know, you are surrendering yourself to knowledge, then that becomes a secondary concern. Because certainly there's nail shops that make appointments on Sunday, but you're
I was
here.
gonna blow it off today.
Okay.
But you're here.
Yep.
So then, with that surrender comes working within the vibration of surrender. And behaving as if you were somebody who wanted to know. I want to know. I want to be happier. I want to be joyful. I want to be balanced. I want to be productive. I want to be connected. I want to love. I want to be loved. And I want to be in the moment, in the now. And so I think it's an interesting thing to say. When the student is ready, the master will appear. Sometimes the master is not the person that you think it is. Sometimes the master, and I gave this talk not too long ago, is somebody who doesn't immediately resonate with you on a vibration of sweetness, but resonates with you on a vibration of challenge. But the lesson is the sweetness. After you've been challenged and your mind has been changed, or your perceptions and awareness has been changed, then there is this new awareness, this new light that goes on in our head, and we want more of that. I want more of that. So I will accept your challenge. I will accept your challenge. One of my teachers is like that. One of my gurus is challenge me all the time. Right, Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, this is also for me. I know that many of you that were here yesterday for the healing certification class, there was an incredible release of energy here, and everybody's coming back to me and saying, "Oh my gosh, I had amazing dreams. I'm having bursts of energy. I'm having visions. I'm having emotions. I'm having all of these things happening because there was a sharing of energy in this space and an openness also, and allowing in the group. And so for me, this happened as well. So does the teacher get taught? Yes. The teacher gets taught.
All the time.
All the time. All the time. And so sometimes the places that we learn from are not the places that we expect to learn from, but in our readiness, we have made a fertile ground. We're ready to go. We're ready for those ideas to be planted. We're ready for those seeds and thoughts. And so my challenge to you, my suggestion to you, is that you look at what's going on in your life and ask yourself that now not snarky question, but profound question. Is that working for me? Is this working for me? Is my behavior and my attitude and my interactions with others, is this the way that I want to feel? Is this the way that I want to think? Or can I work towards something better and ready myself for something greater? Because it's there for you. Knock, and the door will be answered. Ask, and you shall receive. These are ancient ideas. These are not new ideas. I love to say the new age does not exist. It's old age now.
That's right.
It's
Exactly.
old age.
Old school.
So, if you ask somebody, a father of a child, I'm hungry. A child says, I'm hungry. Will you feed me? Can I have some bread? Is the father going to give you a snake? No. It's the same with spirit, your relationship to spirit. You identify the hunger. I'm hungry. Spirit, feed me. Spirit is not going to say, no, starve. Spirit is going to say, I will feed you. Not just I will feed you, I will feed you more than you can eat. You'll have some to take away and put in your apron for later. Because that's how spirit operates. It operates in abundance. So your job is simple, the small part. Readiness. I say it's simple, not so simple. Not so simple. Because there's hard questions that need to be answered. One of the things that I have noticed in my journey is that some knowledge that I have acquired did not resonate with me at a particular time. Upon revisiting it in my readiness, I gained lots of information and lots of knowledge and lots of wisdom and was able to discern it in a different way, digest it and use it. I find this to be the most powerful path of knowledge, implementable, usable wisdom in your life daily. If you're not feeling that, then either there's a deficit in readiness or a deficit in allowing or a deficit in the ability to digest that information from that particular source. And that's okay. That's perfectly okay. That means you look to somebody who's telling you what you need to hear in a way that you can use that information. Use it every day in your life. The last thing I would like to see is people here listening, enjoying each other's company, having a little something to eat. You walk out that door and you're somebody else. This is the old way. This is the old way of thinking. We don't do that anymore. Show up to church on Easter Sunday. Show up to the memorial of the Christ. Show up for the Passover. And that is the extent of our spiritual expression. That is not who we are. That is not what we do. Every day, every moment, every breath, you are a spiritual being. Ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to know. So identify that in yourself, and the Master will appear, I promise you. whether it's someone you know or an internal knowing, an awareness that reveals itself to you in a powerful way, this is a very strong truth, divine truth here. So I leave that with you with its blessing. Namaste.